Hello everyone, today I'd like to talk about how to control a 4-channel relay using an IR remote control. Actually, this is a continuation of one of my other previous tutorials where I've given an introduction of how first to decode the remote control so that you can be able to get the values for the individual buttons, and then how to control LEDs using the remote control. But today I'm going to show you that in case you want to control, for example, high voltage devices, for example, if you have to control like AC lights at home, or if you have your fan, or any other devices at home, because if you have to be able to control those devices, you need to use some relay modules. For example, in this case, I'm using this 4-channel relay module, which can convert it is using 250 AC voltage and 10 amps, converting to 5 volts. So to be able to control those high voltage devices using a simple microcontroller like Arduino, we need this relay module. You just make reference to my other previous tutorials. We have already talked about how to use the 4-channel relay module and also how to use the IR remote control. The only thing maybe I can talk about in this setup is this IR receiver should have the same power and ground connections with the Arduino board. So in most cases, for example, here I'm going to be using this 5-volt supply for these LEDs. So sometimes when you're connecting, you may make the mistake of connecting this power supply, the 5 for this IR receiver, I may connect it with the one of the LEDs. In this case, it won't work. So make sure that the IR receiver and the Arduino share the same 5 volts and ground pins. Another one I have to emphasize is these relays, most cases are going to be used with high voltages. So you may find that if you have to use, for example, if you're using it at home, you're going to be using it with maybe a supply for your lighting, which is using a very high voltage. So you have to take note. If you're not very careful, or if you don't know how to use these relays, you should make some reference to my previous tutorial so that you don't get problems. Remember, high voltages can kill you. So this is the setup. I'm going to put a link below in the description so that you can be able to find the schematic and the code that I'm going to be using here. Let me now upload the code and I'll show you how this works. So I've now uploaded the code and turned on the 5-volt supply to the breadboard here. So from here you can see that it's showing all the LEDs on, meaning that all the relays are now turned on. So now I can be able to turn on the relays and off using the remote control. Let's try it out and see. According to how I've decoded my remote, I'm going to use the buttons 1, 2, 3, and 4 to control the LEDs or the relays 1, 2, 3, and 4. For example, if I press the first button, the first relay goes off, and this first relay corresponds with the first LEDs. I press the second button, the second relay goes off, which represents the second LED there. Then likewise the third one and the fourth one, and then I can turn on the relays again by pressing the buttons again. For example, if I press the second button now, the second relay will turn on, and so does the second LED. Let me press the fourth one. Yeah, you can see the fourth LED turns on, the first one, the third one. Hope you've learned something new today. Don't forget to subscribe and like my videos. Thanks for watching.